What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It is preview day. Everton away. Always a difficult game. A lot of injury news to get through. A lot of transfer news. Well, a bit of transfer news to get through, but mainly here for the Everton preview. How are you feeling coming into this one?
Yeah, nervous, to be honest. Considering.
No need to be nervous, mate.
No, you sure about that?
No need to be nervous.
No need to have false bravado. You saw how we played on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we saw Everton are a tough team to play. Not Goodison anymore. It's the, what's it called? Harry Dickinson. Harold, what is it?
The Hill Dickinson.
Hill Dickinson Stadium.
The Harry Kane Stadium.
Harry Kane Stadium. I think they're also the team that broke Palace's unbeaten run at the Hill Dickinson Stadium with a win there. They've been very tough to play against at home. So I'm not going into this game expecting anything but a very difficult game. Are they unbeaten at home this season?
Yeah, no one's won there, I don't think.
I'm not expecting a win. Look, we'll get into the preview, but I'm not saying we've got no chance. I'm not saying we're going there without a prayer. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I'll be very surprised and impressed if we come away with all 3 points.
Be a major result if we do. It will be a major result if we can go there and win. But we'll get into all the preview stuff in a little bit. We're going to start off with a Tottenham update. And first of all, we're going to talk about the team news going into the game this weekend as laid on by Thomas Frank in the press conference today. So starting off with Romero, he says that Kuti was out running on the grass, positive and progressing, however, no time frame, but not a long one. So I guess he's given us some positives and then a bit of a drawback saying no time frame, but he's saying not a long one.
I'm not expecting to see him until after the international break, I think.
Really? Why?
Because he's only just back on the grass, and it's one you've got to be very careful with, these injuries. And he's obviously got not rushed back, but he came back, I don't know, he came back from Argentina, was set to start, pulled up in the warm-up. And so they thought he was ready for that game. Turned out he wasn't. Pulled up in the warm-up, got injured. So now you've got to be very careful when you reintroduce him. And he's recovered, he's back on the grass. But is he going to... I don't know. He's not fit for this weekend. Is he going to be fit for Newcastle on Tuesday? If not, how many games is left till the international break?
I think international break is 4 games away.
So you got this one, Newcastle. Then you got a weekend game against
Chelsea,
and
then midweek Champions League, and then Manchester United.
And United. Okay, so maybe that United game. I'm thinking. I don't know about before then. You got to be so careful because if you reintroduce him too early and he aggravates and gets a big injury, we saw what happened last season. So
I got a feeling he'll be back for the Copenhagen game.
Okay, so that's 3 games time.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe then. But like they're saying, touch and go, maybe Chelsea. End of the day, it's a big blow. Him being out because he's such a big part of our team. Captain, he's been phenomenal this season, and with all our problems on the ball, I think he goes a long way to solving a few of those issues. Not all of them, but a few of them. So any game without him is tough. We haven't won a game yet without him this season, albeit not many games, but still haven't won yet. So we have to break that duck. Okay, we beat Doncaster, but proper games we haven't won. So it's going to be tough without him. But let's hope this weekend we can break that duck. But yeah, it's a blow. Any game without him, it's a massive blow.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's a massive loss whenever Kuti's out. He's like that glue that sticks that defence together, not just from a defensive standpoint, but just a offensive standpoint and the way we like to play our game as well. So Romero is definitely out. In terms of Destiny, he says that Destiny is not on the grass yet, but still progressing. Again, not a long one. So he's not even on the grass yet.
Yeah, which is really... I think he might be even a bigger blow, to be honest, Udogie, because I think we look a different team, especially down the left-hand side when he's in the team. I think it's so much better, in my opinion, especially going forward. And defensively, I don't think he's hurt us either. So I think it's just been a lot better when Udogie's been there. So the fact that he's out, obviously we're now rotating Spencer and Gray. To be fair, Gray did really well on Wednesday, so I don't want to take that away from him. But I think obviously not having a player who can offer what Udogie offers when he's in the team is really concerning. And I think Odeberg is looking better and better, but I think he was looking even. I think he was maybe even looking good when Udogie was there as well. So they were getting a really good rapport. I think we just need to see a bit more. I'm guessing Spencer's going to start. We'll get into the lineup, but we need to see a bit more from Spence linking up with Odeberg and getting him overlapping like Gray was doing, which he, for some reason, just doesn't seem to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against starting Gray there again, to be honest. I think he had a really good performance, and I think he might link up with Odeberg a bit better than maybe what we've seen from Spence.
I mean, he was overlapping more.
Exactly. So that's destiny. In terms of Dom Solanke, he said Dom positive. He's taking steps in the right direction, and he was on the grass, but on his own today.
We have heard that for like 2 months, but obviously he was there like...
He was on and came off.
Then off, then he had surgery because whatever happened, it didn't work out. He needed surgery. So the fact he's back on the grass is good. How long that means, I don't know. But again, another one, clearly he's had surgery. You've got to be careful with him, with this ankle problem he's had. I think he is going to be also such a big help to the team when he's in there, because I think we've had such a big problem holding the ball up. So, yeah, I think we need him. We need him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get what's going on with Solanke. It's just like one thing after another, like ever since he's joined, to be honest. Like he'd never had an injury before he came to Tottenham, comes to Spurs, gets injured in like the first couple of weeks of the season, then a long stretch playing, and then a long stretch out, and then this season it's just literally been no end of injury problems. So Richarlison's not really doing it. Muani's only just coming into the fold now. He scored his last time out against Leeds, but, on a whole, he's not really doing it in the number 9. So we need more options there, and Dom Solanke, could be a vital cog in that, but we just don't know when he's going to return.
It's such an issue. And I think we looked so much better last season when he was available as well, and he was fit and he was contributing. So let's hope the sooner the better for him.
And on Kolo Muani, he says that it is the first time he has had a sustained block of training and minutes. He is not at the stage, though, where he could be bombarded with 90 minutes at this intensity. So I'm guessing that Muani's not going to start, and he's going to get another cameo off the bench, maybe a bit of a longer one. As, first time he got 10 minutes, then he's got 20 minutes. Maybe he'll get half an hour this time.
Yes, they're building him up, which is, the right thing to do when you come back from an injury. But it's a shame, again. It's just so frustrating. We're nearly in November now, and we haven't really seen Muani and Solanke make any sort of impact in the team, not because of anything else other than their availability. So you saw a glimpse of Muani on Wednesday. He looked quite good. Let's hope we see a bit longer on Sunday. But yeah, it sounds like he's not going to be starting.
Yeah. So that's 2 strikers we've spoken about. Let's speak about our Brazilian number 9. Not team news, but potential transfer news. As a publication called Team Talk, very reliable, of course, says that Everton are ready to re-sign Brazilian forward Richarlison, with Tottenham considering putting the 28-year-old on the market in January. David Moyes needs a goal scorer to finish the chances that Jack Grealish and Iliman Ndiaye are providing, and Richarlison could be the perfect addition. That would be a decent strike force for the Everton, though, wouldn't it? Like Grealish, Richarlison, and Ndiaye.
A fan favourite, going back to Everton
We've
as well.
About this so many times though,
I know.
Over the months.
I don't think he goes to Everton. I think if Everton are interested and they make a bid, I think Tottenham will be open to it. But I think, look, it's World Cup year. If he's we'll see what's happening come January. But if he's still playing regularly come January at Spurs, then I don't think he's going to want to make a move to Everton. And then come the summer, I think that Orlando thing, I think there's actual legs to that. I've just got a feeling that Orlando's serious about it.
Why would he go to Orlando at 29, though?
Because they're selling him a project. There's a lot of Brazilians there, apparently, living in Orlando. And he can maybe head this thing, whatever. Maybe they're offering him a lot of money. Depends. Depends how the next year goes. But I think that there's no smoke without fire with this Orlando thing. I've got a feeling about it.
I cannot see him going to Orlando at this stage of his career. Maybe a few years down the line, but surely not at 29. Richarlison, he's literally still getting in the Brazilian squad. There's no need to go to Orlando now.
I'm watching him at the moment. I think he's really struggling physically. I think there's a problem there. I'm watching old clips of him, and he he looks a shadow of that player that used to be so much hustle and bustle and just like be able to beat players, and he was be able to spin in behind them. That physicality is just we rarely see it now. It's like we see it in fits and spurts, but it seems like I think he's having a real problem physically.
Maybe, but I still think he backs himself to perform at the top level. And backing yourself at the top level is not agreeing to go to the MLS at 29.
We'll see in a year's time.
Like, I don't know. I feel like there could be more legs in I know it's not a reliable source, but for him to go back to Everton, go to another place where he loved, the fans love him, I think he could perform well there. Maybe not as kind of bigger pressure as it is to be at Tottenham. I see from now until January his game time decreasing, to be honest. With Solanke coming back, with Moani getting to full fitness, there are going to be less minutes for him. So if he doesn't get those minutes from now until January, and some bids start coming in or some interest start coming in, will he start thinking, well, yeah, you know what, World Cup year, let me go get some real minutes somewhere?
Yeah, if he's not in the team at all, yeah, I think. But if he's playing regularly, I don't think he'll want to move in January.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I see his game time diminishing a bit.
It will, because we have to play him now. So obviously it's going to get lower.
Now, yeah.
I'm saying it's obviously going to get lower because we have to play him now. But I still think he'll be regularly playing.
But like to get a real chance in that Brazil squad, I think he would probably, like for his sake, like mind safety, wants to be a main man somewhere. And at Everton, he'll be a main man.
Yeah, but they also got two other strikers right now. I'm sure he'll be I think he'll back himself to be the best one. But right now, I think he might back himself to be the best one here as well.
So who they got? They got Beto, who is better than
Barry.
And Barry. Yeah, I mean he's definitely the best striker of the lot. Where at Spurs, you can't really say that.
Can't say that, but you also can't say he's definitely not.
No, but I think like the quality levels between him, Beto, and Barry, like he's a lot better than them in my opinion. Whereas Solanke, even Tell, Moani, I mean, I would say Moani and Solanke are better than him, but the quality levels is just different, isn't it?
I agree with you, but I think so. We'll see what's happening with him between now and January. If it's really he's barely getting a start and he's only coming on in sub cameo appearances, yeah, I agree with you. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's still going to get a fair amount of starts.
Fair enough. Next up, we're going to talk about Marc-Andre ter Stegen once again, as the Bleacher Report saying Marc-Andre ter Stegen has been offered a series of Premier League clubs, including Manchester United, Tottenham and West Ham. Barcelona are ready to sanction a loan move to the Premier League to offload a portion of his wages. He hasn't not played this season due to a back surgery, but he knows he's already no longer first choice at Barcelona, and he is back to full fitness in November, so just around the corner. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I mean, he hasn't played regular football for so long now, been injured for so long, the age of 33. We've got Vicario, who's just had an absolute worldie of a performance. We've got Kinski on the bench as well. I just don't think there's any need really to dip into him or to dip into a keeper at all in January.
Yeah, I think it's a bit unnecessary, to be honest. And also, he's been out of form even when he's been fit for a few years, so it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe as like a sub keeper if you wanted him ahead of Kinski, but I wouldn't sign him to be number one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But 33 is not exactly that old for a keeper, though, is it? Like he has been like a world-class keeper in the past.
Has been.
Yeah.
He is a has-been, pretty much.
Yeah, do you think so?
Yeah, he's been out of form for a while. He's been injured, and even when he was fit, Barca fans hate him. They really think he's awful.
Would you take Marc-Andre ter Stegen instead of Vicario, instead of Kinski? I mean, there's no point kind of stunting Kinski's progression for a 33-year-old keeper. There's no point in it. Unless
you feel he's more ready than Kinski to step in. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't. I'd rather not. But unless he's hesitant to put Kinski in for some reason.
If we didn't have Kinski, I think it would make sense, like for a Fraser Forster role kind of thing. But
yeah. Because
we've got Kinski, there's just no point in it.
No, I mean he's probably a better keeper than Kinski right now, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'd much rather give Kinski the opportunities.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about Jobe Bellingham, which is an interesting one. The Footy Insider are claiming that Jobe Bellingham could be on his way out of Borussia Dortmund in January, with a return to England looking increasingly likely. The 20-year-old has endured a difficult spell in Germany, starting only 2 Bundesliga matches under Niko Kovac this season. Struggling for minutes, Dortmund are considering sending him out on loan in the winter window, with Manchester United, Tottenham and Crystal Palace all interested. Very good talent, Jobe Bellingham. He really is. I'm actually quite surprised that he hasn't got more minutes than he has at Borussia Dortmund. He played really well in the Club World Cup for Dortmund, scoring a goal or two. Dortmund obviously high flying this season, having a really good season so far, and Jobe Bellingham not seeming to get looking.
Well, he started in their last game in the Champions League, so
only 2 Bundesliga starts.
Yeah. And he's 20 years old. I know everyone wants him to be the next Jude Bellingham because his name is Bellingham, but not everyone can have such a meteoric rise like his brother. So I think if he's committed to Dortmund, yes, Jude went in there and just hit the ground running, didn't he? And within 2 years, 3 years, he was at Real Madrid, and his story is 1 in a million. Obviously, they've brought him in and it's like, okay, go on, be Jude, be your brother. And it hasn't quite worked out like that. But if I was him, I would remain calm. It's so early. You're less than 3 or 4 months into your Dortmund career. You've also had some bright spots as well. It's not like he's been all bad. Yes, at the moment he's struggling, but I don't think he's going to rush to leave in January. Yeah,
I've read some reports on this. Like, apparently his parents are really unhappy with the way it's going at Dortmund, and apparently there's like his mum or his dad, I can't remember which one, have been really complaining to the manager and to the hierarchy of Dortmund about the amount of minutes he is getting, and that's not a good situation.
No,
you don't want your parents to start complaining to the club,
and you don't want a player whose parents do that. You know what I mean? And that's gonna, for prospective buyers, you don't want to sign someone who you know that if he's not doing it in training, you're going to get an earful from mum and dad. That's just not a situation you want to get involved in.
Yeah, it's
unless he's that good, he's worth it. I don't know if Jobe is that good.
I mean, whenever I've seen him play, I've been quite impressed. Obviously, smashed out the Championship last season with Sunderland. Got a big money move to Dortmund this summer. It was like fairly significant money. I do think he's a very good talent. I think he's always going to be compared to his brother, isn't it? Which I think is really unfair on Jobe. But I do think he's definitely got something there for sure.
Would he be at Dortmund right now if he wasn't called Bellingham?
Would he be? I don't know. He had a really good season in his own right in the Championship last season.
But it works in your favour sometimes. And yeah, obviously he's I think he's on the limelight more because he's a Bellingham.
Yeah, but like even if his name wasn't Bellingham, he still had a really good season last year, and it would have put a lot of teams' interest.
Yeah, it did. I understand that, but maybe he wouldn't have got a club as big as Dortmund.
Maybe. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Jean-Philippe Mateta, as Manchester United, Newcastle and Tottenham are now all monitoring Crystal Palace striker Mateta. The French forward has opted against signing a new contract at Crystal Palace as he wants to take his career onto the next level. With just 18 months remaining on his contract, Mateta could be available for around £40 million.
Who is this according to? Didn't want to say. You just made it up.
No, it's like the boot room or something.
The boot room. I like Mateta.
The daily briefing or the football briefing or something along those lines.
I think if you look at Mateta at the moment, I think this public spat with Zaha actually maybe reveals a lot about his mentality in the sense that whether, look, I don't want to get into who to believe between Zaha and Mateta, but Mateta is saying Zaha laughed at him, right? When he suggested he could be playing for France. And he's like, no, you're never going to get... Now
it was a bit of a different situation to that than just Zaha laughing at him. Like, at that time he said it, there were obviously like world-class French strikers, and he said... And there was like 10 players in the dressing room being like, yeah, I don't think you're getting a look in at at France because you've got Mbappe and Benzema and Giroud and these kind of players there.
That's not the point. My point is his mentality. He heard those laughs, and he wasn't even in the Palace team that much at the time as well. He's kind of in and out, but he dug in, worked very, very hard, and has become a regular goal scorer in the Premier League. And now he's made his French debut and got a goal. And I think he looks at that career trajectory and he thinks, okay, my career has gone like this over the past couple of years. Is it time to make that next step from, Palace side? We're in Europe this year, but is this like the ceiling for Palace? Can it get much better than this? So I understand maybe he's thinking, if I don't sign a contract, maybe some bigger teams will come in for me. It's interesting that no one really came in from in the summer, considering there was such big interest from for strikers. Newcastle bidding 50 million for Strand-Larsen. They ended up paying 85 for Voltmader, yet no one looked at Mateta. United went big on Sesko. There was a big striker search for a lot of clubs in the summer, even us. And no one looked at Mateta in the summer for one reason or another. But I like him. I think he's a battering ram, such physicality, good finishing as well. I do like him. I think he's really developed himself over the last couple of years, to be honest.
So you're taking him for 40? You think?
I think 40 million is a good price, to be honest.
How much better do you think he is than what we got?
I think as just purely as a player, I think quality wise, what we have isn't I think could be as good as him with the right structure and whatever, right service. I think if you put our strikers where Mateta's been, I think they could also get similar amount of goals, in my opinion.
Because it's only since like Ollie Glasner's come in that he's like really taking it onto the next level, isn't it? Because I remember when Glasner came in, he just like a switch flipped in him, didn't he? And we're like, how is Mateta getting all these goals? And like he just never stopped, has he?
It's incredible, yeah. His rise over the past couple of years. So I think he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see him as being much better than our strikers right now. Albeit he's getting more goals at the moment,
consistently as well,
which is true. I just think, in terms of just purely as players, I don't know if he's much better than what we have.
But you got
a player who's informed and he's scoring. So if you've 40 million and you sell Richarlison, you get him in, I'll do that.
I think he's better than Richarlison, in my opinion. Well, he's definitely shown the ability to get a lot more goals than Richarlison. Richarlison has never got over 13 Premier League goals in a season. He's done that consistently for the last 2 years. What's his numbers? So he's already got 5 this season, 14 last season, 16 the year before. These are really good numbers. Really good numbers. Something that Richarlison can only dream of at this stage.
Well, I agree. No, I said I'd swap them.
Yeah. So that's it. That is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below on that matter. Would you take Jean-Philippe Mateta at Spurs? Is he better than what we have? Let us know in the comment section below.